And we're back. Since our previous game just kind of finished early, we thought we'd come and have a look at this one. So we are a bit late to the start of this one. Joining me on the cast is Joey. Hi, Joey.
Howdy.
And Edwin. How you going, Edwin?
Hey.
All right. So since we are joining in the middle of the game, we don't really have time to have a look at deck lists, but it's a Crane versus Dragon. We're on turn 2. And what do you guys think about just looking at it, right now, what do you think about the board positions?
Well, double Cautious Scout for the Crane. And it looks like Cautious Scout has saved the Crane from Restoration of Balance.
That does look to be the case.
It also looks like this Neaton Master has been used a few times. I don't know how many more triggers it has left in it.
Would you feel pretty good about the Dragon player's position right now?
It's what turn is it? Turn 2?
It is turn 2. Yep.
Yeah, turn 2. He's got no breaks, and his Neaton Master has 2 weapons on it already. So he's already probably used 2 stands. I would say that he's maybe stalling out, but the situation, hand size is about the same. Honor's only slightly favoring Crane. Resto's basically off the board. I'd say it's anyone's game still.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Crane player I could see them from what we've got here stalling out this Neaton Master 2 more turns for it to disappear. Maybe 3 or 4 depending on the reprieves. But hand limits, but they're probably stretching the limit of how many weapons that they've got in hand. This Neaton Master is probably going to be blank.
Yeah, so Neaton Master
or close enough to.
So whose conflict is it now? So that was just Marduk's conflict, so it must be Nimish's conflict. I reckon Military Void trying to scout out Feast or Famine. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that seems legit. You've got a Cautious Scout here, might as well scout. Although, if he does, I think this Cautious Scout's going to get dueled. Which will definitely hurt his board position going into next turn with only a Whisperer staying around.
Looking in the Crane's discard, we've got double Bonsai played. We have one of the Voices of Honor, Steward of Law sitting in the discard, and a Court Games and a For Shame of note.
It doesn't look like the Sacred Sanctuary's been activated yet. What do you reckon's going on there? He can stand the Neaton Master, right? Neaton Master's a monk.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got the seal.
Seal of the Dragon?
He's got the official monk stamp on his forehead.
Maybe he's trying to keep it up for the next conflict because he thinks he's just going to win this with Sugo, but then there isn't going to be a next conflict.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It kind of feels not right.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The Cautious Scout turned it off, of course. Never mind.
Right. There we go. Never mind.
Makes perfect sense. He goes
Don't worry, guys. We're good at this game.
Doesn't duel the Scout.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not terrible at this game. We're just mostly terrible. I'm speaking for myself, of course.
So why didn't Marduk duel the Scout?
Probably the duel has been used already. Let's have a look.
That's a possibility as well. Maybe we missed it.
Right Sugu wins the duel, so the duel was used already.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
So Imperial Favor going to Marduk. That's what happens when you win 2 rings and have the Imperial Palace on the table. Yeah.
Seems legit.
I feel like that Cautious Scout should have attacked Void, because I kind of feel like you want the Dragon player to be using his reprieves early, right?
You need to
I don't think he was planning to win the conflict.
This is true. Although Marduk didn't have another attack, so I don't know why you wouldn't. Actually, I'm not sure.
Okay, so this Mitsu has a Hurricane Punch to activate, so that's good. Like even if it just one card Hurricane Punch, maybe a Void Fist after that. Although the Dragon player is only on 2 Void Fists, so
What?
although that's not uncommon, as far as as far as just cards go. But he's also 14 cards in. He's going to go, presumably going to go to 19. I think I can't see him not bidding 5 here. So you'd expect at least 1 Void Fist at that point.
So Marduk bidding 3.
Hey
I
Jerry.
just said you'd bid 5. Okay.
Hey Jerry, what group is this?
Group is, I think it's the same as Australia.
Oh, is it?
Group 5.
Ah, so it is. I thought Marduk sounded familiar. We've cast him before, haven't we?
We cast him last week.
Yeah.
So Nimsh using Way of the Crane to honor the Whisperer.
Thus turning on Voice of Honor.
And opening up the potential to a possible Noble Sack.
This is true. And actually, I don't
really see too much with these 2 Calo delegates. They just don't have the targets. Unless he's planning on playing something from hand. But the Crane Conflict characters don't have a lot of glory.
Yeah, I kind of agree as well. I don't think those Calo delegates are going to do a lot. This turn probably for Nimish is about damage control. We're probably going to see conflict characters with Fate and things like that to try and maintain some board presence going into next turn.
Yeah, I think I agree with our chat at the moment, though. We've got Phoenix Fox in the chat.
Hello, chat.
Saying that he sees a dead Crane in 2 turns, but I think that was last turn when that was messaged. And yeah, with this board state, I could easily see 2 breaks. This is like this Neaton Master is probably not standing again, but he is still an 8/4.
Oh yeah.
There's still a Mitsu there who can reuse Hurricane Punches. There's still a 4-strength Matsugo to kill off one of these little Crane guys. Because none of these are big characters. These are all small Crane guys.
It's kind
Magistrate Station flipped up, but unfortunately no real great targets for Magistrate Station.
I feel like the 4 cards used in the Dragon discard pile versus the 13 in the Crane discard pile, and looking at the current board position is kind of telling about this matchup.
Okay, well, this is the ultimate damage control. Just throw it all at the Magistrate Station that you were going to lose anyway.
Yeah, Magistrate Station, if you're going to want to destroy a Crane province, that's the one to do.
Yep, but the 2 Hawk Tattoos to throw in the other 2 characters so that everyone is in on this conflict.
Yeah, Nimsh playing those Hawk Tattoos to get everyone in on the Magistrate Station, knowing there's no way he can save it. It's going to go, having no good targets to straighten, just let it go.
This could have easily been a two break turn without that play, but turns out Hawk Tattoo is good.
Fair and balanced.
So
there are 5 conflict characters in the Dragon player's deck. I don't think they've played any of them. No, they have not. So expectation when they're almost halfway there, you'd expect about 2.5. Probably closer to 2 at the moment.
Hey guys.
So he probably has one.
Just a quick thing that I think might have been missed is that Hurricane Punch. I really like this Hurricane Punch. What I think he's trying to do is draw a weapon to straighten Neaton Master. Do you reckon that was a top deck? I reckon that was a top deck.
I don't see any reason to play the Hurricane Punch otherwise.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. Yeah.
Yep. Just
Man, that is not what you want if you're Nimish.
yeah. It's true what they say sometimes. It's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah.
Granted, I think he had it in the bag anyway, but that severely that helps a lot in making sure that the game can't swing against you.
He's going for... Is this Feast or Famine? I reckon it might... He's looking for Feast or Famine is what I think he's doing.
Yeah.
And
if
it's
he's
Feast or
looking-
Famine.
He found it.
If he's looking underneath the Imperial Palace, he might have a hard time.
You mean breaking it? I don't think he
Yeah.
wants to... I don't think you... Oh, he does want to break it, actually, yeah.
He wants to break it because it's blank.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, it's actually blank because the Cautious Scout, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
But
why he
also
wants to
blank
break it.
because he's got no Fate on characters.
All the good reasons. He's got 8 cards in hand. No Courtier in the
And
conflict.
passes.
Yep, cool. That makes sense. It's just that's 5 strength.
Hmm.
It's a decent investment to actually break it. Although a bonsai would have done it, but as mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure 2 of the bonsais was it already
Yeah,
used?
2 bonsais in the discard.
All of his Way of the Cranes are in there. Hmm.
None of his soul beyond reproach, however.
All right, so
What splashes the crane on?
Dragon.
Dragon.
Oh yes, of
That's
course,
why he
Hawk
played
Tattoo.
Hawk
Yep.
Tattoo.
Dragon is the splash to be on, even for Dragon players. Dragon players are on Dragon Splash as well. It's pretty good.
Like maybe if they put in Pathfinders as green, that'd be on Dragon Splash. But
All right, so we're
feel like-
attacking. Go ahead, mate.
Yep. I was just gonna make it. I was just gonna say I feel like they probably don't want to reprint Pathfinders as a green card.
No, I suppose it's kind of funny because nobody except Dragon really plays it, do they?
So we see a political rival with 2 Fate.
When it wasn't restricted, you saw it out of Scorpion sometimes,
Hmm.
but it's just the factions that are Seekers just don't can't value that as highly.
Mhm.
Although with the new roles, you might have see it a bit more, but once again, it's restricted now.
So we
Anyway,
see
that political rival should get the defense here, I would think. That's a 6 strength. That's insane, and he's got no Shuninja on this side on the dragon side of the board in order to cloud it.
yet.
So we saw the court
Not this
games,
turn.
and then we saw the counter court games, and Mountain Sample Castle is going to bring them both up to 6.
It's really funny actually with court games and bonsai. They seem to be just played to work against your opponent's thing, you know? Like you play it to try and get your opponent to play theirs.
So Nimsh playing a policy debate at even skill.
Well, the honor is yep, okay. This should be very interesting.
It's got to be a bid 5, right?
Would you pay 4 honor to see your opponent's hand? I probably would, yeah. I definitely
Yeah.
would. I definitely would.
But I could totally see bid 5 on both sides. Ooh, we did 2.
And so Dragon wins and gets to discard
5
a
to 4.
card of their choice out of the crane's hand.
Well, hot damn. Oh my
Was this the best play? I'm not sure it is.
Okay. Yeah.
See, obviously Marduk agrees with me. It should have just been 5 bids. But
Workaby reckons a Void Fist is coming. What do you guys think?
Void Fist is coming? Oh, Void Fist is always coming.
Okay. What was that? Another policy debate. Okay. Political rival wins the
Yeah.
duel. Is there a Void Fist? There is not. 3 clouds. That's got to hurt. 3 clouds? Yeah, 3 clouds.
At least this isn't an upholding authority.
Hmm. What do you get rid of? Not maybe assassinate?
Maybe assassinate. Yeah, it's not the worst. I'd probably get rid of the skirmish. No, the tattooed wanderer.
Or do you just get rid of the clouds? I mean, there's 3 of them. Potentially, Marduk could play those next turn if he keeps that Mere Mystic. Do you care about cloud?
I'm okay with 5 fate of the 11 that they have going into just cloud. Particularly when at the moment the only thing I can guarantee on the board is a political rival.
Hmm. Yeah,
like,
Nimsh
cloud
is...
to free strength is not the best trade-off. I think Tattooed Wanderer is the correct choice, because if you can covert past someone... Like, obviously the political rival has covert, but that doesn't mean the other characters that end up in play are going to.
Mm-hmm.
Still really questioning these Calo delegates. Like, one of them's going to honor the political rival because it's going to stay around and you want to turn on Voice of Honor.
Well, they're only...
The other one's just going to...
They're only
So,
one-cost characters, so why not play them?
Nimsh drew a card off the Fertile Fields, and then Marduk sacrificed his Pathfinder's Blade after the card was drawn.
Really? Is that the way it works? That can't be the way it works.
That's just how it looks in the chat. That's fine. He used
Yeah,
Pathfinders to
cancel, right?
the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's them. It's the chat saying, like, Jigoku says if they're activating it, then they've got the reaction window, the interrupt window, which they use.
Hmm.
It is somewhat interesting that he cancelled a single draw card, like swap traded card for card.
Well, the Niten
but I
Master's
suppose
leaving this
Niten
turn.
Master's leaving play.
Yeah.
Or not.
Unless it gets reprieved.
I don't know what to say. This is so bad. This is so bad. 4 rings getting claimed that turn. That's kind of nice.
Not as nice as 5, but...
Marduk saying, I don't need the Mere Mystic, and drawing into a Doom Shujanja. So...
And a Swordsmith. Yeah.
There are a lot of Shujanja in the Dragon deck. Like, there's also a Swordsmith right there. So, yeah, like, it's not uncommon to get to ditch a Mere Mystic and draw it into one. Like, you often have Cloud online. Okay, Challenger. Challenger's good. It's better if he can get it honored, which he probably wants to. He's first player, which makes Challenger a lot better.
The thing about Challenger is that you need something behind it to back up that imbalance that you try to create in your opponent. So the Challenger can go in and sort of bring somebody in to defend, but then you need somebody back home for the second attack to kind of counterpunch with it. And
I think at this point, the Challenger is really there to try and pull in as many of the bigger, scarier characters as possible. Like in this particular case, if it wasn't clouded, I probably would have been thinking attack, maybe pull in Mitsu or the Investigator onto a military conflict. You don't really care what happens to the Challenger. You're just trying to pull out the covert and the or the free policy debate of Investigator. But obviously, Cloud the Mind, really good. It can't. It's stopping those lines of play.
It's kind of academic. We saw the Crane player's hand last turn, didn't we? What did we see?
I think we saw both players' hands last turn.
So we saw a Knobsack policy debate, which got played, Beyond Reproach, Stewie, and a Voice of Honor. So no let goes as far as we know, unless they were in those cards that he drew this turn.
Look, this board state looks ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy. Jigoku's going to have a fit. The Dragon player's just going to keep his entire board this turn and then buy another 4 characters next turn.
think he'll probably lose the Doom Shedinja.
Yeah, all right.
A
Don't
reprieve?
see a reprieve on that.
Well, it's
think if
been
you-
done. It's been done, though, right?
I think if you had 2 reprieves, you just hold on to it for the Nita Master twice in a row.
The Swordsmith hasn't been activated yet, has it?
Not that I recall,
Interesting.
which is a little risky.
Well, Nimish doesn't have anything that would sort of stop it, as far as I know. Maybe an Assassinate, if he drew an Assassinate. Does
There's
he have one?
2 Assassinates. He doesn't have
Yeah.
them, but... Well, he didn't have them, but there are 2 Assassinates in the deck.
Hmm.
And we are very low on the conflict side.
Oh. Hello, Assassinate. That's a bit of a shame.
Of the assassination targets, I think maybe Agasha Swordsmith is probably the most assassinated card in the game.
Oh, yeah, without a question.
Look, they just like to hang out with the assassins, and
Yeah. It's
it
like
goes poorly for them.
Yeah, it's
Fine.
like Shrine Maiden discarding like let goes and things like that. It's like, yeah, it's just the thing that happens. Discard Censure at random. I suppose that's not the worst. He doesn't have the favor, and it doesn't look like he's going to get the favor.
May
But-
not even survive this turn. This point.
Yeah, yeah. That Swordsmith would have helped a
Sorry for
lot to try and get a weapon. I think there must be at least one more katana. What else has he got? Just one more katana. That's it. Oh no, 2 die show. He's probably fine. He's probably got a die show in his hand. Attacking political fire onto Resto. Again, it feels a little bit desperate.
He's probably, yeah, I think he's probably just looking for the stats on this here challenger.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he just wants to beef this guy up.
Looks like he's on entrenched position on the box.
And now
Um,
everyone gets to go to Resto
Caca!
Oh yeah.
as the Hawk Tattoo gets played.
I love Hawk Tattoo, man. Just the imagery that it conjures up in one's mind is incredible, right? Like, you can see this, stealthy monk going up to the challenger, slapping a lick and stick tattoo onto the guy, and the
The
challenger's
question
just
now
flying into
is,
the conflict.
Is this game? Is this game?
Look, I think it was game a couple of moves ago, at the start of the turn when he brings out
Look.
double the number of characters.
The game didn't look that great when we first loaded into this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been going downhill from there.
Look, to these players'
it looked
credit, this is a reasonably back and forth game as opposed to the other game, which one player just got like shellacked.
Yeah, when we did load in, I was mentioning that it looked like they had been holding off.
Mm.
That's somewhat impressive considering what they're facing down at the moment. Like, this Neaton Master has all the weapons. Like, every time he needed a weapon, there was a weapon in hand.
I still feel
They
like,
just kept handing him weapons.
yeah, I'll bet that Pathfinders was a top deck too, which really didn't help our Crane friend.
Kitsuki investigated, having a look in the hand here. I don't see anything that's going to save Crane, but, well,
What do we got? Assassination, For Shame, Knobsack, Policy Debate, Soul Beyond Reproach, and Voice. Well, what can be voiced? Nothing
Void
really.
Fist.
Yeah.
Like, a Void Fist here is game. Which might even be why he took the policy debate. He might have just enough cards, and if they have a look,
Yeah, I agree. If that policy debate was played, it would have been a 6 versus 3, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
could happen here though, because the Noble Sack is in hand, they could play for shame, and then you have to bow the character, which just happened. Yep. You have to bow the character because if you don't bow the character, you're out.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
You're-
long-term play.
You sack the political rival to kill the Fate Mitsu.
Voice of Honor to cancel court games.
Yep.
I do like Voice of Honor to cancel court games because you can only play one of them per conflict. It's not like if you have two of them in your hand, you can just play another one.
It also Voice of Honor would be turned off if the court games went off. So
Yeah, if there was more than one in Nimish's hand, yeah.
yeah,
What was that? Seal of the Dragon?
onto the investigator, but I'm guessing he's gonna.
I think it's a Void
Is it
Punch.
Yeah, it's probably Void Fist. It could still be Void Fist. He
And
just
there's
played
the
his
Void
second
Fist.
card.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Mine's a little delayed, but yep. Yeah, so he played it as just so he could play a second card. It does give him
And
+1
Nimsh
strike.
passes.
It's game broken. Man, I feel like that whole game was one giant Void Punch.
As opposed to the one before, which was 4,000 Void Punches.
Yeah.
This one was, one big solid Void Punch.
It's like the kind that you would see in like Dragon Ball Z, you know, like he's just powering up and powering up and powering up.
Sorry for the nasty start.
Yeah.
Kind of sad we missed it,
Yeah.
but
It's all right. You know, half a game or
Always pick
three
up
quarters of a
the end
game is better than no game.
Yep.
So what do we do now? Do we know if there's any other games going on?
let's see. I think the next one I can see is 3 hours and a half.
Which would be
Does chat know
about
of
2
any?
a.m. Yeah, does anybody know
Yes.
if anybody else is playing a game now?
Oh, I'm gonna. Wait. Kaipen just said I'm going to be playing Zorzo in 15 minutes.
Looks like Tenorum's got that one. Yeah, looks like Tenorum is doing that.
Sure.
So it's
Actually, I think that he might have just been streaming.
Tenorum was streaming the same game.
Same game we were.
oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
all right then. Well, let's see. All right, guys. I'm gonna
Yes.
stop. I'm gonna stop the stream this time. So when we come back, if we come back, we'll let you guys know in global Discord chat. We'll see if we can get Kaipan's game going on. You guys, like Joey and Ed, when are you guys up for doing that?
I'm gonna have to bow out now, but thank you for
I'll be up for it.
inviting me.
No worries. It was great. It was great to have you on the stream. Till next time.